and welcome to the Community Producers. I'm Mark Hanley. The Community Producers is a show created to focus on local stories told by local producers who live on North Vancouver Island. On today's show, Kate Brown will expose some of the magic that goes on behind a theater curtain. You'll also hear the story of a refugee's journey to freedom that started in Laos and ended in Campbell River. But first, let's hear a positive news story from Kayla McDonald Productions, a story about someone who's super.
Lindsay Stirk. Why does Lindsay Stirk make a great super dad? Well, let me tell you, I don't know a guy who's more passionate about his family, to be honest. And with his busy schedule, what he does every day, and he still manages to have a #1 focus around his kids and his wife. I always see him fitting his time in around, and he's always on the top of some mountain somewhere taking selfies with his kids. And he's just devoted and dedicated.
So some of the things that make Lindsay a super dad are the way he is just so passionate about being a dad to Sam and Timothy. We are blessed with 2 boys who are very different from each other, and he works to honor the specialness of both of them.
I think of super dads and Lindsay. First thing comes to mind is Dad's Dance. Definitely big stage presence there, and the super dad of the super dads. But more importantly, I think is Lindsay with his boys, and I think the character of Lindsay as a father is reflected in his boys as the character that they have, and the young, intelligent, well-spoken kids that are a lot of fun to hang around with. I think that it's in a big part reflection of Lindsay as a super dad.
One of the things that he's absolute best at is being a dad, because he just, as much as he loves everything that he does, he loves his job, he loves teaching people, he loves creating things. He lights up so much when he talks about his kids, and he could not be more proud of Sam and Timothy, and they're so lucky to have a dad who loves them as much as he loves them and is inspired by them as well.
He's a real role model. Wonderful wife, Nicole. He has a wonderful work-life balance between his very busy studio and his home life. He just always puts his kids first and students first. And I just think he's a great role model for being a super dad and a true dad for his children. Yeah, just congratulations, Lindsay. It's very well deserved.
Thanks, Kayla and Daryl, for introducing us to Lindsay. Do you have someone you'd like to introduce to our viewers? Do you already produce video on the North Island? Do you have a story to tell? If you answer yes to any of those questions, contact us. We're looking for local producers who would like help producing their stories. One of our local producers is Judy Murakami, and like me, she loves coffee. But do you ever stand there in the coffee shop and look at that menu and wonder, wow. And that's from a customer's point of view. Imagine if you had to make all those coffees. Well, that's the job of a barista. And although there is a lot of skill development, the basics can be nailed down in one day. Check out the Royston Coffee School.
Here in Royston, entrepreneur Diane Spink has done it again. She started the Royston Coffee School doing barista training, food safe, and serving it right.
I think it's really important to be a multitasker. Another really good quality would definitely be those people skills.
20 years ago, Diane Spink was a single parent looking for a job, trying to make a living, and who would have thought that this coffee business that she got into would be a burgeoning enterprise.
I moved to the Comox Valley, and I was teaching youth entrepreneurship. for Business Development Bank and Community Futures. But I had no work, and I was a single parent and 2 little kids, and I had no work in the summer. So I bought a coffee cart and I applied at the farmers market, and it just went from there. I applied at Vancouver Island Music Fest, I applied at Philbrook Festival, which I am still doing to this day, 15 years later. And it was a source of income, and when I did the music fest, I paid for my coffee cart in 2 days. So I thought, wow, this is a pretty good business. And then I had to teach people to help me. I thought, wow, I can teach you. So that's how I got started. It was just a source of income as a single parent. And plus I loved coffee. So of course the next step was eventually to go into roasting, and been teaching ever since. You can put it on there. We're always tamping on something. Yeah, put it right down when you're tamping down. Nice. And all that fun, that's the whole thing, is the bean grinders on, the steaming, the banging, is all part of the sights and sounds of a cafe.
For anyone interested in becoming a barista working at a coffee shop, all it takes is 1 day. You too can learn how to make all of those wonderful coffee drinks.
Well, that's the beauty of it. 1 day. It's pretty intense. When you look at a big menu board in a coffee bar, a lot of times you're looking at it and you're going, oh my God, how will I ever know how to make all those drinks? Well, from 10 o'clock till 4 o'clock, you walk out of here, you know how to make every single drink on one of those boards.
Really?
And very comfortably trained, yeah, and it's exciting. And even when you go in and order a drink from then on, you know exactly what's in them. You are also going to take some chocolate milk, and we're going to steam it to heat it, and we're going to make a mocha. So you're going to put the shot of espresso into one of these little shot pots, into the cup. With your hot milk, you're going to fill it up, and we're going to put some whipped cream on top. And I get to drink it? No.
Gaëtan Palardy is the partner in crime who has been an instructor and a chef, and she teaches Food Safe Level 1.
Often I was collaborating with Diane, and I do it in different venues, with different schools, different private organizations, businesses and all that. So doing it with the school she wants to start, it's one more way to promote the food safe courses and other courses in tourism and hospitality that I offer.
So for those of you who have had your food safe training, make sure that you pay attention to the regulations, because in 2018, if you have not had your food safe training in the past 5 years, you need to recertify. So just something to think about.
Before there was no expiry date on it. Now when people do a certificate, there's a 5-year expiry date. So people who do it in 17, it's going to be written 2022. One thing I try to do when I do the course is give a lot of example for home also, that even if people don't need it for a job, they come home and they can, it's to develop a food safe culture, then they get more tricks and more ways to make the food they serve as safe as possible for their family, their friends, and when they're doing it at home.
If you're interested in getting trained in either barista, food safe, or serving it right, you can either go to Facebook or go to roystoncoffeeschool.ca. From beautiful downtown Royston, this is Judy Murakami for Shaw TV.
Request access to air your content on the community producers. Volunteer with us. Join a free TV workshop. Check out these websites.
The word refugee comes up a lot nowadays. But what does it mean? What does it mean to be forced from your home on a perilous journey to an unknown destination? What does it mean? Well, here's one refugee story in her own words.
My name is Kami Kwan. I am a former refugee from Laos. I came to Canada in 1979. I stayed in Thailand camp, Nong Khai camp for only half year, and then we came to Canada. I fled from Laos just me and my son. I carry my baby, and then I had one basket, some little food with me. And then we ran to the rice field, and rice field had all the muddy and very difficult for me to run, but I was so very lucky that some friend came with us and helped me to carry the baby. And then they told us, okay, we should walk to the Mekong River now. Then we walked middle of the night, like about 20 of us. So we walked, and we were very hungry and thirsty. We had no food. We were tired. We started walking toward to the Mekong River bank, and then the guy told us, jump down, get into the canoe. So everybody jumped down, and then here I am carrying my baby. I cannot jump, I'm afraid of height, and he just pushed me and the baby. So we roll over on the sand and then get into the canoe in the middle of the river, and canoe was sunk. Then the kids were crying, but good thing the water is not so deep. So we made it to Nong Khai side. Then somebody came, picked her up and took us to the camp. So then I met my husband there. Soon I land in the airport, the land in Canada, that I feel safe. Because in this country, they always take good care of the human being. Me and my family very glad that we came to Canada. So now Canada is our home, especially for my children. They had good career. For 3 of them, I had 3 sons. I like to volunteer in the community, and also I volunteer at the Welcome Center too, a lot too. So since I used to be a client for Immigration Center, and now I am volunteer with them, and I am also an employee for them, just part-time. Yeah, I am organizing for the International Women Group. I really like that to help all the newcomer women. For my children future, so that how I encourage myself, I have to do this for my children, for my boy.
I want to thank Cami Kwong and Rochelle Baker of the Campbell River Immigrant Welcome Center for that story. We'll be continuing our stories in a moment, but first, these public service announcements and news from the Sid Williams Theatre.
Looking at May for the Sid, May 4th to the 6th, Pantuso Dance Groove. Wednesday, May 10th, School District 71's Aboriginal Education Ceremony. On Friday, May 12th, Celebration Singers have Our Canada, a celebration for Canada's 150th birthday. May 14th to the 20th, hosted by Courtney Little Theatre, is the North Island Drama Zone Festival. And finishing out May, the 25th to the 27th, Triple Heat Dance presents Ignite. That's May at the Sid. For more details and for tickets, please visit us, sidwilliamstheatre.com.
Live theater. Yes, it's worth checking out. Today, it is mostly the movies, and most of the magic in the movies comes from computers. They create landscapes, they create whole worlds, they create people and monsters. And yes, it is all amazing. But all that trickery really started behind the curtain in a theater a long time ago. Let's join Kate Brown and Courtney Little Theater and see what happens behind the curtains. I do have to warn you, there is a nefarious captain lurking about.
Courtney Little Theatre. There's so much happening in theatre in the Comox Valley. Often we see these productions at the SID, but what happens behind the stage? Gail has been involved with the theatre for 60 years, since 1958, and is involved in every aspect from theatre to directing, acting, and costumes.
This set has been designed by Jay Crowder, who does many of our sets, we're happy to say. And I think the most exciting thing about this set is the floor, the linoleum. This linoleum, where do you get original 1930s linoleum like that? Well, because of our very creative bunch, Terry Penny has photocopied 2 squares of linoleum, and it's all been photocopied on paper and glued down and varnished.
And Val McDonald makes sure the theatre comes alive.
The demographics of the valley have changed so much, even in the last 7 years. We're getting quite an influx of people who have had professional careers, who have been very active in community theatre in other communities. And so we're benefiting from this, both from an audience point of view and as attracting members to our club. There's so much talent. It's not by any means all on stage either.
Prop rooms are so exciting. There's so many things. There's jugs and costumes and wigs. Let's go and have a look.
Do you know who I am?
Captain Hook.
Yes, I am. And that jacket was used for 2 particular shows. It's amazing how many times it has been used. It's certainly been used in parades. We have a new way of storing our chairs, which were always being in the way. However, they do cover up all our posters. That's grand, isn't it? That's been used a lot. Yes. Lots of our most of our costumes are made right here.
We have often 4 people on stage and up to 50 people supporting them in the background, providing lighting, sound. There's so much that can be used. We have set construction. Every single show we have fabulous sets. Those are designed. We have costumes. One of which our costume designer has thrown on me. We have people sewing those, we have people designing, and it's a very cohesive community, the theatre community in the valley.
Sometimes you'll see 4 people on stage, but there can be 50 or more people involved in helping it all happen. What a show. From the Courtney Little Theatre, I'm Kate Brown.
I hope that story didn't shatter too many illusions for you. If it did, well, that's okay, because I got another one for you. Sean Piggott at Fox and Bee Studios is developing a reputation as a film producer who produces quality, imaginative video with a social conscience. Just check out some of the stuff that he's done for the Cumberland Community Forest. This time round, Sean's changed tactics. He's enlarged his production and creation team. He's enlarged it to a grade 2-3 split at Cumberland Community School. Yes, this next video is produced by 7- and 8-year-olds and a very patient Sean Piggott. Let's dance. Great fun, eh? I love it when they're all together. If you like that video, by the way, stay tuned to the community producers. In an upcoming show, Judy Murakami will do a behind the scenes with Sean Piggott on what it was like to work with Cumberland Community School. Hope you enjoyed our show today. For the community producers on Shaw TV, I'm Mark Hanley.